Guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Brad Lone Wolf, and obviously today being today, I'm going to be doing a cooking stream. The two recipes for today are going to be chicken, lemon and olive stew for the other person, and for myself it's going to be five spice tofu skewers. Just going to bring that up on my laptop. That's the one I want. Right. So, again, I'm going to be doing the other recipe first before I do my recipe. The 5 spice tofu skewers, the one I'm doing for myself, they are sin-free, and again they're meant for 4 people, so I'll only be doing them. I'll be quartering the recipe that you see. Obviously, being skewers, we're going to need some skewers. Like I say, there's only myself, so you really need 2 of them. What I am going to do, if I can find an appropriate bowl, that should be good enough. Actually, that'll work better. That'll do. I'm going to soak the bamboo skewers in water. Much water as I can possibly get in the jug. So I'm going to leave them to one side. Just let them soak in water. That's so that when I come to actually cook them, they obviously don't catch fire. That's the main reason. Right. As I say, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the recipe for the other person, and this calls for, obviously being chicken, lemon and olive stew, calls for chicken, which I've got under the tea towel just here. Actually requires it to be, again requires well, full chicken in this case, but obviously the other person's not going to eat the full chicken, so I've got just some chicken breasts under the tea towel, which I will cut into smaller chunks. Right. So, yes, it's tea time, of course. So, today's mug is going to be, where is it? I've lost the mug I was going to have today. Ah, there it is. It's going to be the Game Boy mug today. And I'm not going to have my usual tea. I'm actually just going to have some ginger tea instead. Just because I've had enough caffeine today to keep me going for the rest of the night. So, plus the recipe also calls for some chicken stock, so let's get the chicken stock on the go first. Now normally I would quarter this, but I never quarter liquids like this, just because you generally find that if you quarter them, that's perfect. You generally find that if you quarter them, then the liquid actually runs out. You find yourself putting more in anyway, so there's no point shorting. There's no point in quartering the chicken stock. Anyway, oil. Any particular oil? Olive oil. So we're going to grab the olive oil, and it calls for 4 tablespoons, I believe. Yep, 4 tablespoons. 2, 3, 4. I'm going to leave that out because I probably need that for my own recipe. Okie dokie. Hate handling raw chicken. Yeah, there. Right. While the oil's heating up, I'm going to cut the chicken into pieces. Now the chicken recipe that I made yesterday, unfortunately, the person I made it for, they didn't actually like it, which I didn't have a problem with, because you don't know if you're going to like something until you try it. So, but it did mean I had to throw a lot of that recipe away. Which I will admit, I hate throwing food away more than I hate handling raw chicken. Right. Now that you're all smoking, get the chicken in there. And the extractor fan on. Let's put it down to medium, I think. Right. Yeah. Okay. So while that's going, I'm gonna start cutting the onions or all the other ingredients required for the chicken recipe. Now the recipe calls for 12 baby onions. I haven't got baby onions. So I'm going to take a normal onion and I'm going to cut it up very, very finely. Move that over there so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Really need to get another lid for that wok. Right, onions, garlic, as usual, garlic puree, and spices. Right. Okay, so just got to wait for the chicken to cook through. Today I am cooking chicken, lemon and olive. Neither of us like olive. Stew for the other person, and for myself it's 5-spice tofu skewers. I've not long started, so I haven't missed much. Give that a quick stir. In a couple of minutes' time I'm going to be taking this out, putting it on a plate and and then putting onions and spices in. And not going to start on mine yet. Right. Slotted spoon. It was bound to happen sooner or later. Right, putting that to one side, just letting that rest. Put that up on there for now. Yeah, they certainly do. They certainly do. Right. In goes the onion. So I've removed the chicken from the wok. I've put the onion in. And then a teaspoon each of these spices. I'm actually going to half this. Just because the other person doesn't like a lot of spice. So there's half a teaspoon of turmeric, which I used to call turmeric. Half a teaspoon of ground ginger. Half a teaspoon of cumin. And then some garlic puree. And turn the heat down. The other person is mysterious, and the other person will remain mysterious for a little while. That quick stir, let that seep through or cook through for a little minute. Get a bit smoky in here, so I'm going to open the door because we don't want the fire brigade turning up. Okay. Stock a stir. Ooh, that's a good tip. Okay. Might add a little bit of stock to this just now, just to stop the powder, the powder. Well, they are, but it is powder. Just to stop the spices sticking to the pan. Right. As for my recipe, is there anything I need to start? Yep. While that's doing, I'm going to start on my recipe, and my recipe calls for, remember I have quartered all of these, my recipe calls for 16 small potatoes. I've actually not quartered this, I've halved this, so I've got 8 small potatoes, 2, 4, 6, 7, there's one left. And they are going to be boiled for 7 to 8 minutes. And as potatoes are a root vegetable, start them off in cold water. Okay, and whilst that is doing, I'm also going to wipe the knife down. First of all, it's overcast. I'm not going to lie. it's trying to rain. I did want to try something slightly different today, but it's been raining on and off, so I've not been able to do what I wanted to do. Hopefully, with luck, tomorrow, well, regardless of whether it's raining or not, I will be doing something slightly different. Okay, so I've got my tofu. I've just drained the tofu. I'm going to take it out of the packet. Squeeze as much water out of it as I can. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Fortunately, I don't suffer from hay fever, but yeah, you are right. Low levels of pollen and low levels of hay fever. Okay, so now that that's been cooking, now that the onions and the spices have been cooking for a little while, I am going to put the chicken back in, and I'm going to add the stock. So in goes the stock. Now this is a stew, so obviously it's going to sit there for quite a while. I'm going to swap this. I'm going to bring it to the boil first. I'm going to bring the stew to the boil first, and then I'm going to swap it over to a back burner just to let it stew all the way through. Put that in there for now. I'm going to start tidying up because why not? Cinnamon stick. Now, this recipe, the other person's recipe, does call for ground cinnamon. I've only got cinnamon sticks, so I'm going to have to make do for now. And then once that's started to cook all the way through, like I say, I'm going to put it on the back burner, let it stew until it's about 5 minutes from ready, and then I'm going to add the juice of a lemon, and then let it cook all the way through and then serve it up. Whether that will be ready by the end of the stream, I'm not entirely sure, but we're going to find out. And onto the back burner, that one, turn that down, and then cover that over. So, I hope it is healthy. I mean, the other person I'm cooking for, they do need high fat, high protein, well, high everything really. But at the same time, you don't want to go too much, otherwise it'll go from underweight to overweight. So, might as well use this bowl. So I'm going to make the marinade now for the tofu skewers, and the marinade, and I'm going to make the full lot for this one just because I can. So, 6 tablespoons of tomato puree. Really could do with one of those toothpaste things for one of these. 4 tablespoons of soy sauce. Yep, I have opened this one. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Juice of unwaxed limes. One. And 5 spice. Chinese 5 spice. Chinese 5 spice here somewhere. Yep, there we go. Okay, a whole lot. Might as well, because that's now out. Okay, potatoes are nicely doing, and now mix this all together. Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay. So, as I mentioned in the past, the oven doesn't work, and I've got no idea why it doesn't work. We've had engineers out and they've gone, yeah, it's all fine, but still doesn't work. But the grill does. So, preheat the grill. Whilst the grill is heating, slice the tofu. I'm going to use the whole lot because none of the other recipes that I've got for the rest of the week use tofu, so I might as well use the whole lot. Right, here goes the tofu. There's the peppers, green peppers. Red peppers. I'm only creating 2 skewers for myself. But you're given enough marinade for 8, I think it is. All I'm doing is I'm just taking the stalks off and putting the caps into the bowl, ready for marinating, and drain in the potatoes. Absolutely, that marinade does get a bit thick. Right, now I'm only cooking for myself. Well, I'm not cooking for myself, but these skewers are only going to be for me. So there really is no harm in getting my hands in there and getting the marinade all coated using my hands. Right, now that I've done that, I'm going to take the skewers that I've been soaking and I'm going to start threading. So, potato, green pepper, mushroom, red pepper, mushroom, green pepper, tofu, mushroom, red pepper, mushrooms falling apart of course. We've got potato, I might actually have to do a couple more skewers because these ones aren't that long. Okay, potato, red pepper, mushroom, green pepper, potato, why am I neglecting the tofu? I'm just going to have a skewer with tofu at this point. That's one. Probably, like I say, I've got enough enough mixture here, enough stuff here to make a third one. Right. Which I'm going to have to keep a very close eye on. Tofu. Potato. Red pepper. Go for some more tofu. Tofu. A couple of bits of tofu. I don't think I'm going to be fancy. I'm not going to try and make a pattern out of it. It's not like I'm entering a competition. Yeah, they are. And you make them as random as you like. Potato. I am definitely going to have to do another skewer. Good job this is a free recipe. Now this one I'm going to have to keep a very close eye on because I haven't soaked it, therefore it's highly likely it will catch fire. And we don't want that. More tofu. More tofu. Come on, you've got a whole big block to put on there. More tofu. What I probably will do, once I've used all the vegetables up, is just fry up what I've got left. It's only tofu after all. Right. And a quick wash. Into the grill with them. Make sure that the oven door stays like that. If it closes all the way, the grill goes off, and you have to wait for everything to heat up again, which is brilliant. Okay, I've still got that much left, so rather than doing another skewer, I'm going to bit of low-calorie spray. Spoon. And just fry that up. It's not, I don't like wasting food, and if it's something I can eat, then I'm just going to fry it up, why not? Now the recipe is doing good. Just keeping an eye on that third skewer, as well as eating mushroom stalks. Right. Something I found out the other day was our food recycling people will actually take, I'm not sure if it's the same everywhere, but our food waste people will actually take your food scraps if they're wrapped in newspaper. So, I have some old newspaper and I'm going to use it. Skewers a quick turn. Even with that extractor fan on, it gets bloody hot in here. They would probably take another 10 minutes or so. Yeah. That should already be done though. well, that marinade is amazing. Oh yeah, definitely recommend that marinade. Probably will work on meat as well. That is good. Oh yeah. Give that a quick turn. Once I've done that, I will lemon juice in. I'm only going to put the juice of half a lemon in. There we go. Let that go through for a couple of minutes, and then everything will be ready to serve. Can't get over that marinade though, that is glorious. If you want the marinade, is all done in a big wide bowl. 6 tablespoons of tomato puree, 4 tablespoons of light soy sauce or tamari sauce, the juice of 2 unwaxed limes, and 1 tablespoon of Chinese 5-spice powder. Turned off, that's turned off. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Right, do that, I'll put the oven back together a little bit later on. That was just the cinnamon stick I was taking out there. Right. I have a feeling I should have done some rice with this, but one of those. That is, I'm not going to tip it up too far. That is the chicken, lemon and olive stew. And I'll just go and serve that up, and I'll be back to show you the skewers. Right, so that's all served up. Put that on the back burner. Right. Now, my skewers. One. Oops, never mind. There you go. There's my skewers made in that marinade sauce. Absolutely wonderful. Right. So, that's it. That's the end of the stream. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you next time. Bye for now.